Okay, everybody, it is 6 o'clock on August 14th, 2025, and I'm calling the Clackamas River Water Board of Commissioners to order. Do the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. Chair, would you call roll call?
Commissioner Andrew. Here. Commissioner Cummings.
Here.
Commissioner Danell. Here. Commissioner French.
Here.
Commissioner Garrison.
Here.
All present.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Hello, Kevin.
Hi.
Acknowledge that you're here. Okay, next is the approval of the agenda. Does anyone have any additions, deletions, questions? Whatever.
I move to approve the agenda.
I second. Commissioner Andrew.
Yes.
Commissioner Cummings.
Yes.
Commissioner Danell.
Yes.
Commissioner French.
Yes.
Commissioner Garrison.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
I'm sitting here daydreaming. Okay, the next one is the 2016 bond refinancing update. And David Albrecht, who's with SDAO Advisory Services, and then Christina, our wonderful CFO, are going to give us an update.
So before you do, I just
Oh.
want to, for the record, clarify there's no public comments.
Right,
So
okay,
Oh, even though it's on there. There's
okay.
I'm just gonna take a second to introduce someone that's been familiar, David. He's gonna give you an update on where we're at in our current bond refinancing.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Pleasure to be back.
Welcome back, welcome back.
So we've
You
been
showed up a
progressing,
second time.
pardon?
You showed up a second time.
Yeah. So, in front of you, I think you might have something that looks like this. So this is a very short presentation, but tonight it's just a matter of updating you where we are on the process. So far to date, folks have been working diligently on the disclosure document or preliminary official statement, which Todd has in front of you right there.
Oh, that big.
That's the first one I had.
Yeah, that's,
So,
and I gotta say, your staff, Christina and Todd and Karen, have been just amazing to work with. They were
Awesome.
of course.
wonderful, and I also have to say, we had our meeting with Standard & Poor's Global Rating Services to get a credit rating for the bond. We had that on Tuesday. And again, your team was just absolutely phenomenal. They presented well, it went so smooth. Probably one of the more smoother rating presentations I've done in a long time, and they were well prepared, and it just went smoothly.
What was our rating?
Well, that rating will come out on the 21st.
Uh-huh.
So what they're doing, they're gonna go through their final analysis. And then they'll come to us with what they call their press release regarding the credit rating for the district. And then, when that comes out, the team and I will have like a 2-hour window that we have to review their kind of opinion or statements about the district. Now, they basically retain the right to, for editorial comments and everything. We might be able to comment if they have an incorrect number that might be stated of some sort, correct some spelling, but really from the standpoint of crafting language for the press release, they control that. But they give us a chance to review it, to make sure everything that they're saying is accurate. And then after that 2-hour window, they bundle it up and then they release it out to the marketplace. So we'll know Thursday afternoon, and I know we need to get it before Todd, I think, has a big day in front of him to celebrate. So, his anniversary.
Oh, I was like, what is it?
I don't
Do we
know
get
the
to
number,
know
but,
what's he
How many
celebrating?
years?
But
what's that?
How many years?
Put me on the spot. Wonderful years.
This is recorded,
How
Todd.
many wonderful years?
Just remember the year.
25?
No, it'll be, 27.
Oh, that's close.
Wow,
congratulations.
congrats.
Congrats.
So,
His poor wife. Oh, maybe, I'm sorry.
no, that's fine. I kind of took the conversation, so that's fine. So anyway, the other document that Todd had in front of you was the preliminary official statement. So that's the document also I refer to it a lot of times as a disclosure document, and that document there is what is gonna be presented to investors prior to the bond. So it'll be out in front of investors a week, maybe a little more than a week, before the bonds are actually priced in the marketplace. That document is presented to you for your review, because that document is your document. The district's document, although you've had folks help prepare that document. We wanna make sure that there's no statement in there that's misleading. Everything's factual and, does not misrepresent the district. So that investors can make an informed decision about whether to invest in Clackamas River Water District bonds or not. So if you're familiar, like if you're looking at a mutual fund prospectus or stock prospectus, this is what your document is kind of equivalent to. So we have comments back around the 21st as well, about the same time the rating comes out. We like to publish that document on the 22nd with the credit rating. So if you have questions that come up, if there's a misspelling of your name or position or something that you just say, hey, you have a question about, please get those to Todd and Christina, and then they'll forward them on to me, and we'll fix what we need to fix.
I just had a question because I don't own bonds, so there are people and institutions out there that have the original bonds, right?
Yes.
So this is just whatever's, so what kind of bonds this is, you refinance it and then you're reselling bonds for the same thing?
Yeah, so
I'm a
we're,
little confused. about how
so
that
the
works.
original bondholders, the 2016 bondholders right now are
Right.
gonna get paid off,
Oh, I see.
okay? So what we're doing is we're raising new money in the capital markets, and we're gonna take that money and we're gonna pay off those old bondholders, and you only have the new bonds left. And the reason why you do that is for economic reasons, correct? To save on debt service. And so the economics are that, we're gonna take this pot of money that we get from the new bond sale, we're gonna put it in an escrow account for 30 days. And then there's gonna be a notice published to the old bondholders, say, hey, on October 18th, you're gonna get paid off. But when that happens, technically, and from the accounting perspective, is that the day we fund and close the loan, that escrow is funded, we have a verification that the escrow is sufficient to pay off the whole debt.
Right.
Then from an accounting standpoint, even though those bonds are gonna still exist for 30 days, they no longer exist on your books. They no longer exist from accounting perspective. You only have the new debt.
Do some people rebuy them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of like refinancing your house.
Yeah, I know, in a way, but.
Sometimes I wish it was just as easy.
Well, granted.
So, okay, I got it. I understand
If
now.
we see an error in here, how do you want us to,
Please let Christina and I know. Just
Okay.
send us an email or call.
okay,
And I'm gonna clarify, so we're gonna actually ask you to make sure you get any comments to us by the 20th, so we have it.
Oh, Wednesday,
can I
okay.
just
So we
mention
have-
right now before, so I don't forget that the expiration term for us, I immediately went to where at least I could see if there's errors on that. I think you flip-flop the term expiration. So mine and Rusty's term. Mine, Rusty, I have to rerun in 2027. So mine, and then they just got reelected, so they're 4-year term.
Okay, so that's,
Oh, your
just-
term limit. Oh.
The term expire, yeah, I think they're
Okay.
flip-flop.
we'll take a look at that and we'll make that
Okay.
correction.
Sure. That's the only place I've learned.
Okay, no, that's fine, that's what
I
we
just
want.
noticed that, I just wanted to see if my name and title was spelled correctly, like you said.
So that's a perfect example of what you provide to Todd and Christina, and then we'll get it to you.
Okay.
And we'll get it folded into the document.
Great.
The kind of main focus too is there's a page in this that looks like this, and you looked at something very similar.
Yeah, the last board meeting.
So the refunding plan, more or less, and so you can see where we started in May. And I get updates all the time from the bond underwriter asking them what the current market is. Well, the last update I got from them was on the 7th. So we started out, we're looking at, and so the market's been moving in our favor.
Yeah.
So we're looking at just under $1 million of gross savings before, now we're at almost 1.2.
Awesome.
And then the present value numbers, of course, we were at 632, now we're at about 770. So right now, it's looking good from the market standpoint. And what's funny about the market now, we're seeing a rally or interest rates coming down on the short end of the, or say 10 years and less. But we're actually seeing longer term bonds, 20 years and out, the rates have come up a little bit. But this isn't that far out, so you're getting the benefit of the lower rates in the shorter kind of yield curve, we call it. So that's what we're seeing there. The next page is basically the estimated annual savings with the little chart that I put in there, you know, for cartoon purposes, I guess. To show what we're estimating the savings were as of August 7th. We'll update these numbers next week as well, and then just until we get up to the day the bonds are priced. And so finally on this page on the back is I've put together the remaining schedule and kind of tasks that are involved. With it, oh, you have it up here, great, thank you. So you see on the 12th, Tuesday, we had a raising presentation. Wednesday was an underwriter's due diligence call, and what that was involved is the underwriter, which I misspelt, unfortunately, I just noticed. Anyway, ding me.
An underwater.
Yeah, so what they do, their requirement, you know, financial broker dealers that participate in the municipal finance market have to do certain things before they can underwrite municipal securities, and they have to show that they've done their own due diligence. We had a 4-page questionnaire that they, seven, sorry, and it talks about all kinds of aspects, regulatory questions, financial questions, you know, uses of the original proceeds, just a number of areas that we had to go through, continuing disclosure. So they can meet their requirements under the federal regulations that they did their due diligence, that in order to participate to underwrite the bonds. That was an hour-and-a-half conversation. But again, your team was fantastic. They answered everything appropriately, accurately, and correctly. So so we're anticipating the credit rating on, I have the 22nd, but we're gonna get it on the 21st. On the 25th, there's this letter called the deemed final letter. And that's why it's important that you get a chance to review this disclosure document and make any comments that you might have or ask questions. And that letter, it comes from the district, signed by Todd to the underwriter, saying, we presented this document to the board, they reviewed the document, and you can release it to investors for their review prior to the bond sale. From there, there's some other documents. We have the bond purchase agreement. That's going to be the agreement that the district and the underwriter will sign that agrees to the terms on which the bonds were sold. The MDAC form is a requirement that the Oregon State Treasury has, that every borrowing a local government does, they need to report to the Treasury. And so that form's on there to remind me to get that done during that time, because it has to be done before the bonds are sold. On September 3rd, we have what we call the pre-pricing call. And that's generally done at the end of market close. And what we do is that your team will get together with myself and we'll talk to the underwriter and their underwriter on the desk, the individual that actually sets the market rates for the bonds. And we discuss that. And, you know, I have my own comparisons to the current market. He has his own comparisons to the market, and we'll talk back and forth. And we say, you know, we agree to go out the next day at a certain level or interest rates or yields that they're proposing, which they think they can sell the bonds or clear the market. And so after that conversation, we'll get the district will provide their verbal proceed. And then the next day is the big day. So around 7 o'clock is the bond sale. All the bond salesmen and everyone, they're calling all their investors, from individuals to banks to mutual funds to trust funds to money managers, anyone that would have an interest in your municipal bonds. And again, the bonds are enticing to Oregon, bond funds, because the interest is exempt from taxation, state and federal level. So there's, bond funds that will buy your bonds, there are, banks that will buy your bonds, and, all kinds of different types of investors. So during that order period, what's interesting is that we'll be able to have access to how the order flow is going. And then that order period goes for about an hour and a half. Starts at 7 and we'll close at about 8:30. And then during that time, we're able to see visually on a big screen where the orders are coming in, what investors are buying. So we'll be able to see, well, okay, that's an individual that's buying that. We won't see a name, but you'll see individual. Or you'll see the name of another broker dealer might put an order in for some of the bonds so they can sell it to their clients. Or it might be, Ferguson Wellman is a money manager in Portland. They have, they manage money for people. They'll put orders in, or Becker Capital. Franklin has a tax refund here in the state of Oregon, and Columbia and some other funds. Nuveen, some of those other big, institutional investors, they'll put orders in, and we can see what maturity, and how much they're buying. So after that kind of ends at 8:30, they're gonna, tabulate all the orders and look at it, and then they're gonna come back to the district and present an offer to say, we're ready to buy these bonds from you. And so we also discuss that, but during that time, I'm usually talking to the underwriter directly. I said, and I've been around a long time, and I know a lot of the, bigger investors. I said, what do you call these guys? Do you call the folks at Tax Free Trust of Oregon, they might have an interest. Or, I said, hey, the other day there was a bond issue that came out at a certain level. Will you be able to, get close to that, match it, or whatever? And so it depends on the orders that come in. If the issue's oversubscribed, what we call, so you're gonna issue, $16 million in bonds, basically. And if the orders come in where you have like $32 million in orders, that's what we like to see, because now we're gonna be able to negotiate those rates lower and see where those investors drop off. Some will drop, some will stay. But it gives you that chance to fine tune the rates and the yields. Conversely, if no one puts an order in, then you're saying, oh, maybe we went to the market very, very aggressive and we need to increase the yield on the bond to see where they're gonna clear the market.
Are these investors just in Oregon, or are they national or international, or?
They're all over.
So we could have Saudi Arabia bid on it? I mean, I'm just curious.
Possibly. But basically they're all in the United States. They're gonna be out of Chicago, they're gonna be out of LA.
And
San
they're all,
Francisco.
in order to do business with the financial or whoever's representing them, there's a whole process that people have to. They're sanctioned
Okay,
Yeah.
countries that we can't do business.
they're
with.
vetted, so. we
They're
don't have to-
vetted,
So
yeah,
yeah, all that has to be
So
cleared.
they're already cleared if they're even coming to the table through a firm.
Okay.
Right.
I don't wanna be owned by Russia or anything. I'm just-
No, you probably, they'll probably all be domestic, money managers and all kinds of stuff. I have yet to see a foreign entity come in to buy municipal bonds. So then we agree? I'm sorry, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, you said that what we wanted to see was that the bond sale maybe oversubscribed.
Yes,
And that means that we would get a lower rate, or that we would get a higher sale price. How would Clackamas River Water benefit by that?
you would get, your yields would be lower, so in the case of the way the bond pricing would work, your yields would be lower, so you might wind up with more proceeds, which actually means which would reduce your borrowing requirement. So depending, because I remember I talked last time about the pricing, how it works like a seesaw. You have a rate here, they're gonna get a current interest of this, but their yield is lower, so they're gonna pay you, say, in one maturity might be, they're gonna, for every bond that you issue, you might get $1.10.
When you say our yield, don't you mean the purchaser's yield?
Well, you could look at it two ways. A yield to an investor, correct, but a rate would be to you, what you're paying on the bonds.
Right.
Okay.
And the rate would go down?
Yes, and then in the event, if you have more orders or more bonds subscribed for than what you're issuing, it creates an environment where you're able to lower the rate or yield to the investor.
Okay. But the amount that we receive for the sale would remain at that 16.38 million.
Well, that's the amount of bonds we're estimating that you're going to issue right now. Okay,
Right.
there's that, because the way the environment has been, investors have been paying more for the bond. So you might have a 5%, say you have in the 2035 maturity. You know, I say there's 1 million bonds or $1 million worth of bonds in that maturity. That coupon rate might be 5%. But the yield may be to the investor or for the investor is gonna be 3%. Okay, so they're paying more than the dollar of a bond, because again, price and yield works, so if price goes up, yield goes down. If
Who banks that extra money?
it goes to the district.
Okay, very good, thank you.
So those proceeds actually, so you might only have to issue $16.2 million because you're gonna get additional proceeds.
Oh, so we could issue less and still retire the old bond.
Correct, because you're getting additional
Very
proceeds.
good, thank you.
Yeah, that did the spot right there, yeah.
So, we've pretty much done all of the construction that we use the bond for, and this is just the remaining debt, isn't that true? Have we,
Yeah,
Right.
we've already spent. it.
right, that's what I thought. So I was wondering, does that make it more enticing knowing that, or to sellers, or not?
I think it's a lot of it probably has to do with the market kind of thing, you know,
Okay.
like, you know, the appetite in the market. So right now, right now we're seeing a big demand for municipal bonds. There's a lot of money that came in June and July from redemptions. And Oregon has not had a lot of municipal bond issues. So when we looked at the sell date, we're also looking at what other bond issues might be in the market that will compete against you.
Okay,
So on this day, there isn't any issue
okay,
that will
great.
compete against you.
And I add, the things they're gonna be enticing are the things in our package, like our fund balance, how good we're at paying our debt, our credit rating, just us as in general. They don't care if we spent it or not spent it, they care if we're gonna pay it back.
Right.
Right, that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, right, and the cash flows for the district are superb. I mean, you're 4 times, you have enough revenue to cover your debt service payments 4 times. That's a wonderful thing.
Well, good job to you guys. That's,
And then we close on September 18th.
wow, all right,
It's just around the corner.
a month, yeah.
Yeah.
So, again, from this, we want to give you an update, kind of where we're at in the process, so you're aware of that, so you have that in the slide. 2, make sure that you have the preliminary official statements. And then make sure you're aware that if you have any questions or concerns or comments, sooner the better, but the 20th is the drop dead date, because we gotta turn things around too.
Okay.
And then, yeah, just thank you to everybody that's been working. It's truly been a big team effort to get to this point. It was a crazy week with a lot of stuff going on with respect to this, but I think we're getting there. I'm excited to see what will happen.
Awesome.
Good job. Wonderful.
Hey, any other
Thank-
comments or questions?
Thank you, David.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
David.
My pleasure.
Thanks for coming in. Thank you.
Nice to see all of you again.
Yeah.
And we'll probably see you again.
Yeah, and then it's for popping champagne after we get a response.
Oh, I'm there.
That sounds good.
Yeah, works for me.
Anything else from anybody? We're good?
We're all good.
Are you gonna go jump in traffic?
Oh,
Yes.
oh, God.
Right back to
Gnarly if you're going that way.
South, yeah.
It does not look good right
I
now.
live in McMinnville. so-
Oh, God. Well,
You
you
might
might-
wanna map it.
I was gonna say, you might wait, you probably stop and get breakfast for you, huh? Way traffic looks.
Yeah, it does not look good the other way.
Well, it's like, I had a doctor's appointment at Lake Oswego, I went to our Taggart office, and on the way over, Talia, he asked a question. Comment about the traffic, and so I said, well, I grew up in this area, so I came up through Mountain Park over here and then just down.
Did that-
Yeah,
did it
back
that
way.
way. Okay.
And then it depends on traffic that way, and we sneak down 99, and we go through.
You might wanna do
You might wanna do that.
Anyway, thank you so very much.
Thank you.
And I'll get out of here, because I know you have a lot on your agenda. Thank you so much.
And we'll be in touch.
Yes.
Yep, we'll let you know the day we get any responses. That's the commissioners. I'll fix
Okay,
that.
All
perfect.
right. We'll
Thank you all.
see next thing.
Stay
Have a
right
wonderful
on.
evening. Thank you.
All right, we're moving on to the consent agenda. Are there any questions, comments on the consent agenda? Okay.
I move that we, accept the consent agenda.
And I second.
Commissioner Antler.
Yes.
Commissioner Cummings.
Yes.
Commissioner Danell.
Yes.
Commissioner French.
Yes.
Mr. Garrison.
Yeah.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, we're now moving on to the action items. Consider approval of intergovernmental agreement with the city of Milwaukee water line improvements and water system relocation during the city's King Road Improvements Project. And Joe, your smiling face joins us tonight.
Good evening, commissioners.
Good
Good to see
evening.
you again. I'm here at 10 in the morning.
Oh,
I bring to you today another intergovernmental agreement, this one with the city of Milwaukee, which is our first one with city of Milwaukee. This is a water line replacement project for a couple of blocks on King Road. They are reconstructing King Road from Linwood over to, I think it's 45th Street or 55th Street. Can't remember exactly,
I
which,
drove
but it's a
through
much
there, I've
larger
seen it, yeah.
project than us. And since we're in the corridor where they're doing all the work, they identified our water line as being in conflict with their new improvement. If you're familiar with the Linwood improvements that's gone on the last couple of years, they're doing about the same treatment on King Road. So part of what I think they're calling green streets, they narrow the pavement section, they put in treatment planters and a wide bike pedestrian way. So we're under the new storm treatment facilities and in conflict with other utilities. So this portion is the only portion in King Road that we have water line. So we're moving out of the way. That's the onus for the project. It works twice for us because what we have in King Road is a old 4-inch cast iron lead joint pipe. Stanley Water District. what we call it.
mm,
So
Oh, wow.
it's kind of a double whammy. And as we've done in the past with the county, this is a delivery method for the construction. The design was done in-house, the estimating was done in-house. We provided plans to the city, our consultant to include in the contracting package. And they are in the process of selecting a contractor at this time. So this is your opportunity to say yes. They've already signed it. And we will be doing the quality control in the field with the contractor. We, as I said, we produced the drawings and the specifications and the estimate. So if anything goes wrong, it's my fault. And then I'll ask for questions.
So they're providing the construction company and they're also doing what we need done under our supervision.
Correct. So this is a delivery method that we've been using
Yeah.
for efficiency. Because if we went in there before, we couldn't have done that.
Yeah.
There was time. But we're paying for traffic control and all of that other stuff. And then trying to coordinate the designs after the fact. So we go in and do our stuff and hopefully we're not in the way of any storm sewers that they haven't designed in. So this allows us to coordinate directly with the designer and make sure that we don't have any conflicts at the time of construction.
Rusty, you have a question?
Yeah, this is about 1,000 feet of water line along King Road. And I see about 20 property parcels along King Road, but we're only doing 3 customer services.
We only have 3 services on this stretch. Now this is in a area that is served by Milwaukee and CRW.
That explains it. Okay, thank you.
So a lot of these parcels along particularly the south side is all served by Milwaukee.
I figured it was probably something like that.
And then some of the bigger institutions are also served by Milwaukee.
Thank you, Joe.
So we have or we don't have customers along this stretch, like,
We have three off of King Road.
okay,
And when you go north, the neighborhood is ours. And so
oh,
this is set up for future replacements.
okay,
When and if those develop. One of which is Stanley Avenue, which we have actually in the budget for this biennium. Because Milwaukee is also doing that road reconstruction. I don't know if it'll be exactly the same configuration as King Road or Linwood. But something similar. If you go north on Stanley, it crosses the creek and has an intersection with Johnson Creek Boulevard.
right,
So
yeah.
they may be trying to have a northern corridor parallel to Linwood to allow people to get to the northern part of the city.
Oh, okay. Where is our line between us and Milwaukee, would you say?
Well, I think this is in the city of Milwaukee.
Oh, this whole thing is in the city.
Yeah, we just serve it. It's
Okay.
part of our, so we have overlapping down.
Right, okay.
Anything else?
I'm good.
Okay, I move to approve the IGA with the city of Milwaukee for construction services associated with water line improvements and water system relocation during the King Road Improvement Project and authorize the general manager to sign the IGA.
And I second.
Commissioner Anger,
Yes,
Commissioner Cummings,
Yes.
Mr. Donnell,
Yes,
Commissioner French.
Yes.
Mr. Garrison.
Yes,
Motion passes unanimously.
thank you, Joe.
Nice to see you again. The smiling face is always welcome.
Thank you.
I like our opportunity to tell you. That was really good.
Adoption of resolution 01/2026, designing organizations that will be assigned CRW representatives for the fiscal year 2026. We discussed this with Todd, we've kind of gone over it. And I'll just go through it. North Clack, NCCWC, and it's Rusty.
Thanks.
NCCWC, you're stuck on that one. Oak Lodge and Sunrise are mine. South Fork, Rob,
Yes.
you have that. You might want to check with Karen and Todd because they are so sporadic in their meetings and whenever, So they'll keep you abreast of when and where you need to show your smiling face. Clackamas County Coordinating Committee at C4, Metro, and PACA. Regional Water Providers Consortium is Naomi. Now I'm gonna jump down, Oregon Water Utilities Councils, SDAO, Clackamas River Water Providers, and Oregon Association of Water Utilities are Todd. North Clackamas Chamber of Commerce is on here, and I don't think we ever had anybody on there, have we?
We don't have a rep, but it's an organization
Oh,
that we have gone to, and we have actually sponsored some of the events and stuff.
You wanna take that, Leslie?
Please don't.
Sure, what about the fire? We
So
no
we didn't-
longer,
We did drop that just because we haven't done anything with that.
But you just want to have people's fire. I know, yeah, the fire district is something that we've discussed, I think we're at an opportunity that if we wanted to put somebody there, we would be welcome enough to do it.
you can absolutely put me on the North Clackamas Chamber.
All right, so.
I already know most of the folks over there.
I was gonna say, you probably know everybody anyway. So whatever you
Yeah.
do. Okay, Tessa's taking the North.
Cause I had the fire, so you guys took away my one duty.
Oh,
It never met, I mean, it just
Yeah,
never,
yeah.
well, we met once. That was fun.
yeah. Okay, everybody, if you have any questions or whatever, let us know. So. We don't need a resolution.
You do need to vote.
We do, oh, that's right, we do. All
And
right,
then for, real quick, for clarification, so what you're voting on is a resolution designating which organizations we're sending representatives to. The choice of who goes to, who represents us, that's the board chair.
so
Okay.
President.
we're not voting on the assignments, just,
Right.
okay,
I don't care.
Just the
what you
list
did on the
of
assignment. You're gonna
just
do.
understand.
She's gonna tell us. what
Okay,
to
well,
do.
I move to adopt resolution 01-2026, designating organizations that will be assigned CRW representatives.
And I second.
Commissioner Andrew.
Yes.
Commissioner Cummings.
Yes.
Commissioner Danell.
Yes.
Commissioner French.
Yes.
Commissioner Garrison.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, four, consider first reading of ordinance 01-2025 by title only of adopting rules for Riverside Park.
All right, actually, the person who really has done all the work on this is been Ray Watkins, who we met last meeting,
Hi, Ray.
new risk manager.
What did you say?
He's our risk manager,
Risk manager.
so
It's a
he's,
risk to show up the board meeting, I'll tell you that.
so as part of Ray's duties, he not only deals with the emergency management piece, safety and health piece, but also the security piece. And so kind of the park, a lot of the park activities and involve security and how we enforce rules and all of that sort of stuff. So he's been working, Bob has been engaged in it too. And so I will stop there, let Ray give you an overview of what we're trying to accomplish, and then this is an ordinance, so you're actually gonna see this twice. So we're gonna see you next meeting too.
Great.
Take it away, Ray.
Thank you. I'll try to keep it as short as I can. So simply, this was an old ordinance that we're trying to update. So 01-213 to 01-2025. We're trying to close some of the gaps, just clean things up, and then really make it more specific to CRW. And we're still modeling the ordinance from Clackamas County. So Clackamas County Parks rule is really more taking in Clackamas County ordinance, their overview, and then working with Bob and his team to really make sure that we are able to have the authority to enact certain rules and regulations within the park, and then also making sure that the county sheriff's office has authority to do the same, also enforcing laws within the county or within the park and around the park. So that in short is what we're doing. We've had an increase with camping in the park, which is not allowed, day camping. There's a lot of things like that we're coming up against with security, doesn't know what to do or how to do it because we didn't have the authority. So some of those gaps that we're talking to about there, we're just trying to clean that up. There's several other things in here that you'll be able to read, and you have it there in front of you. Again, making it clear, concise, having the authority to do so, act, and then also the sheriff's office. And the great thing is, with the communication that I've had in the last couple of months with the sheriff's office, they have dedicated more time in and around the park. So just got the official email from them. So on peak days, like 90-degree weather, 100-degree weather, they didn't specify the temperature, but on those days like that, they will spend more dedicated hours. They will actually send a deputy to sit in the park for at least an hour or two if they can, but that is their focus for us, and then their river patrol as well.
Now, does this make it, okay, so that the sheriff can come on site and kick them out?
Yeah.
Does it CRW, our employees kick them out, or does the sheriff does it?
With this new ordinance, we can.
You can, okay.
It allows we utilize the third-party security to do that for
And who
safety.
would be doing that?
Our security for safety reasons.
Oh, okay.
We could have Bob or myself go down
Oh, I'll
and
go.
do that, or you can, but no, we really want our
No
third,
firearms allowed.
yeah, we really want our third-party security to handle that.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
they don't feel safe, then they know that they're allowed to call the sheriff's office to assist. Just when we do an exclusion, we have a renewed exclusion agreement with the sheriff's office. They will actually come down and activate that exclusion and meet the individual, whoever it is or whatever's going on, and give them the proper exclusion with security.
This basically just tightens up all the little loose ends that we had.
Correct.
That we're having problems with, right?
Yes. And it clarifies, so day camping is one of those issues where security has approached people in campers or vehicles, or maybe living in the park every single day, but doesn't have a camper. But that still meets that day camping requirement, which we don't allow in the park currently. So that is clearing that up, and then we have the ability to let them know that this is in the ordinance at that time. And it does not allow them, give them proper process. If they don't abide, then we have the authority now to make sure that they're removed.
during school. So it also helps with towing. We didn't have that in the previous. as well.
Right.
So that's specifically to the park of this ordinance, but we will have the ability to have tow companies remove vehicles.
Okay.
Questions?
So you're talking about people camping that are not in vehicles, you're talking basically about homeless.
So individuals who, for instance, drive down, but then drive down early in the morning and then spend their entire day there and treat it as if it were their living room, as an example. Setting up umbrellas and shelving, nailing shelving to trees,
Oh, my wow.
bringing in their own picnic tables. And then not allowing other patrons to come in and enjoy that area, telling them that they cannot do that.
Really?
There's been examples that I've been given, and I have seen those items there. But this clears that up and allows us that authority to make sure they're removed. It's not that we don't want people to come down and enjoy the park. We do. We're trying to get more public and families to come enjoy the park
That'd
and
be
not have
safer.
to worry. Yeah.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Rusty?
Yeah, Ray, the document doesn't have any patrol schedule for CCSO.
So
It simply allows them to function on our premises, is that correct?
correct. Yeah, they're not
Do
going
you
to
have any understanding with them that they will come around anytime, at any time when they're not called and just have a look?
Yes, that's the email that we just received. So we've been in communication with them the last 2 months that I've been here. And they are dedicating and telling me via email that they are willing to increase their patrols in that area. And it has been verified by security. They are seeing the sheriff's office down there more frequently, and they are having conversations with the deputies to help that relationship with our security as well. And then the email also states that during peak weather times, like hot weather days, they are working to dedicate an officer or sheriff in that park for an hour to 2 hours at a time within 11 to 4 timeframe, but they cannot guarantee because they have other emergencies that may arise. But it is their focus is to increase their patrol times and at the park, in around the park, and also the river with the river patrol.
Okay, well, the term increase is pretty loose. Is there a number of patrols per day, per week, per month? or-
So to be clear, they have no obligations.
Yeah,
This is a cooperative thing, so we can't require them to do it. So they're trying to do
But
their best.
we can't require them and they're not offering a schedule, is that correct?
Right.
Well, don't we
They're
have
just
our own-
saying more frequently.
yeah.
Right, so, and we do have to Commissioner French's point, we have our own security down there during the summer.
Right.
And we have our
Okay.
own patrol too, so.
So for the most part, if there's a problem, we would give them a call. And this authorizes them to function completely as described.
Correct.
All right, thank you.
So, since we're having more definite rules, are we gonna reopen the bathrooms, or we, remember how
The bathrooms are open.
they are open? Okay,
They're open while we have security there
while you have security, okay,
and for events.
right.
Anyway, running off with the TP.
Don't laugh.
I know how it works.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Okay.
I move the board conduct the first reading of ordinance 01-2025 on title only, adopting rules for Riverside Park.
And I second.
Commissioner Andrew,
Yes.
Commissioner Cummings,
Yes.
Commissioner Linnell,
Yes.
Commissioner French.
Yes,
Commissioner Garrison.
Yeah.
Motion passes unanimously.
so who
So-
reads it?
I'll read it.
Okay,
So ordinance 012025, an ordinance of the Clackamas River Water Board of Commissioners adopting rules for Riverside Park.
Great job.
And this will take effect 30 days after next
Thank you.
month's reading.
And we have,
You
yeah.
too.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you,
so-
Ray, come back.
So, yeah,
Thank you now.
and before Ray leaves, I just want to note, this has been really nice to have Ray, one, work on these relationships with the sheriff's office.
Yeah.
And I think we've seen progress with respect to that and really kind of embrace jumping in to try to help kind of address some issues that we've had with the park. So
Nicely done.
Thanks, Fred.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, number 5, consider approval of intergovernmental agreement for Oregon Records Management Systems Consulting Services with the Oregon Secretary of State. Todd.
All right, this is actually just we're renewing, or not renewing, the Secretary of State we've had an agreement with them previously. They've made some changes to the agreement, and so we're being asked to adopt this new agreement. It is something that has been reviewed by Bob. And we've been part of this program for a number of years, so it's just simply adopting the new language.
Great. Any questions or comments?
What, are there any substantial changes?
I can't think of anything
Nothing
substantial.
that I would call substantial.
Okay,
I would say most of the changes were for the sake of clarity.
okay.
Very cool. Yeah.
I move to approve the intergovernmental agreement IGA for Oregon Records Management System, ORMS, consulting services with the Oregon Secretary of State and authorize the general manager to sign the agreement.
And I second.
Commissioner Andrew,
Yes.
Commissioner Cummings.
Yes.
Commissioner Danell,
Yes.
Commissioner French.
Yeah.
Mr. Garrett.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, moving on to the quarterly update, and that's gonna be Christina.
Good evening, commissioners. Hope you're doing well.
Good evening.
Yeah, now it's cooled down.
Yeah. Well, it's been a busy week. It's been hot in the house,
Oh my God.
especially that due diligence call. Felt like we were given our DNA,
Oh,
Oh my
gosh.
God. I can only imagine.
but it's all worth it. Here to present our quarterly report for June 30th. Just a reminder, this is not our audited or our final numbers. We are still closing out the year, paying our final invoices this week. And then we'll start our year-end entries. So this is the best we know at this time as of July 31st. But with that stated, our revenues are higher than anticipated for the general fund. We're about 116%. So we're about for the non-operating revenue, we're about 1.2 million more than what we budgeted. Overall, for the budget, for revenues, we're about 5.2 million more than what we budgeted. Yes,
For the 7th and 8th quarter, you have the year 2024. Should that be 2025?
the very first slide. Oh, it should be 2.5. Yeah, I
Thank you.
didn't go back in time. I just, you're right.
I didn't think so either.
No, thank you for finding that. I'll start off the new year with correct year for my next quarterly. And I'll make sure our audit is corrected. Next slide, sorry. So here's what I was talking about, our revenues higher than anticipated. So that was good. Our expenses, on the other hand, are tracking lower, which is always what you want. Your revenues coming in higher and expenses coming in a little bit lower. Part of that is our personnel services. It was lower than what we budgeted. We're about 96.5%. Part of that is due to not being fully staffed, having some vacant positions throughout the biennium. The next, materials and services, right now they're projecting about 95.6%. That is high due to areas such as our contracted services. Due to the vacant positions, we did have to contract out. We also had that extra water that we had to buy, and we had some equipment we had to purchase. So those were all some higher areas in the materials and services. Capital outlay is currently 67.7%, but we still had some expenditures that I'm waiting to close out. Yes?
So does this page taken as a whole, going to, work favorably for our credit rating for the bond issue?
Yeah, it is. So part of, you will see in our POS that they did use our quarterly report, the one I'm sharing with you, as our estimated numbers for 2025. So that is part of the POS. You will see that. So that is projecting our ending fund balance.
All right, thank you.
What's POS?
Okay,
That big packet, that bond packet,
Oh, okay,
sorry,
Sorry,
it's,
Prelim-
it,
Yeah.
Preliminary official statement.
got it.
yeah, sorry.
POS in my world. is
POS
point
has
of
been
sale.
my language for the last
I was like,
month.
yeah,
I don't-
It's not the other POS.
I'm like, should I know that? Should I know that? Should I know that? Okay.
why do you think our revenues are higher? I see that we do have increased
Well,
our.
you know, $1 million of that was from, interest earnings.
Okay,
So that is higher interest. We also had our increased water sales, and then some grant funds. So that was the majority of it.
okay.
Yep. And then capital outlay. Next slide. So this is kind of showing you where we're at based upon where we projected. You can see here, actual compared, or budget compared to actual compared to where we're forecasting the end of the year.
So we're really good across the board.
Yeah.
Nicely
And
done.
part of this, just so the board, to appreciate the board, it was because of that transfer you approved back in May that allowed us to come so close. So thank you for your approval and allowing us to accurately budget to where our expenses are. Great, so very good. The next slide. CIP, our capital improvement projects, we're still finalizing those and closing out those, but as of July 31st, we are at 64.8%. And then just talking about our grants, because it has been a great year. We requested 305,000 for 2025, and for the biennium, we've received just over $1 million. Yeah. Okay. And our final one that we're gonna talk about is our SDCs. And again, we had another quarter, a successful quarter. So we're about 254.4% over what we.
Where is this construction of new homes taking place in our district?
Great question.
Hmm.
I don't have that.
I mean, I know I always think of it as not us, but Happy Valley. but that's the
Well,
construction.
I know right on South End, there's a couple homes going up.
There's the person that we have to help answer.
That was the appropriate time.
Yeah, please.
From the audience. As you can imagine, over the last few years, development has been low compared to prior years. Interest rates, inflation, whatever number of reasons. There is a current subdivision off of Monroe Street. There's currently greenhouses. It was a greenhouse business, but they're now developing into a high density, a small lot development. I think I don't think it's considered middle housing, but these are small lots with townhome. So that's our current tracking one. We also have our tracking one off of Audie Road, where the Miles fiberglass plant was,
Okay,
by the park and ride. That will be another multi-family development with a couple of different high-rise buildings, similar to what they've done over the past few development cycles. Those are really the only significant subdivisions and high development areas that we're experiencing. Oregon City is building housing up in the Hop area off of Holcomb, Ceres Farm. You've driven out there to the farm. They sell tomatoes and stuff. Couple different phases of large development called Ceres Farm and Ceres Farm 2. So those home developments are also happening. They're also south of Holcomb. There's some more Oregon City development occurring. We serve some of it. We don't serve all of it.
right. Thank you.
And
That's interesting.
So
I'm
I
just
I
gonna-
will.
Oh, I just wanted to say, I know 254% sounds high. I just wanted to give you guys the numbers to go with that. So we budgeted 330,000 for SDCs and our biennium total is 839. So it's not a walking amount, but it is, and when you're budgeting, we're doing the best we can. You
Right.
always budget revenue a little bit
Right, you want to be careful.
conservative.
Yeah.
So it is 254 is still a great, I just wanted to put it in perspective. Sorry,
I was gonna make the same point.
okay. And that's, any questions? That's what I have to share.
No, thank you.
Thank
Perfect,
you.
thank you.
Always like to see us in the money.
Yes. Doing good.
Okay. Management report, Todd.
All right, well, first off in your folder, obviously a number of different bits of information, some of the stuff we've already gone through as far as the preliminary official statement and some of the slides and so on, but a couple things I do want to highlight is you have your monthly report, which you get every month, of course. Couple of things to just note as you look through it, and might be a little bit different. You'll notice page 3 through page 5, a lot of purchase orders. Well, this reflects the fact that it's a new fiscal year, and so we issued purchase orders for a number of the different vendors that we work with at the beginning of that fiscal year. So that's why you see this huge waterfall of them. Moving on, as it relates to page 7, when we look at your financial activity, I just want this to be clear, we are starting a fiscal year, so it only reflects 1 month worth of information. One thing that I will point out that I don't want the board to get too concerned about is you'll notice our revenue actually with water sales went down a little bit, but I also want to point out we're going through the billing implementation process at that point, and so our billing was a little bit delayed, and so we suspect that probably has a contributing factor to that revenue. So as we proceed with that, something to be aware of. That also actually kind of the shutoffs and all of that information, I think is also slightly down. Oh, I guess not much. Go
I can
ahead.
touch base on that.
Sure.
Sorry, because we did do late invoicing for June and July, we did not do late notices, so no late penalties were charged. The commercial bills went out last Friday and they were due tomorrow, so we did not. It was in our customers' best interest to charge late fees, and the last month we also did not do a shut-off cycle. So we will get back now that we're doing our next residential, so we'll get back on our normal cycle.
Sounds fair.
And then the last item I'll just draw your attention to is the last page, page 15, with the river flows. Obviously, we've been watching that closely. It has been low, but we're still hovering above that 25 percentile level for folks as we progress forward. We'll see what tomorrow holds.
Yeah.
Tomorrow
Fingers
is-
crossed.
It's supposed to
Yeah,
be
it's
just a
supposed to be
couple of
2
days of
days,
rain,
yeah.
that might help, so I don't know if it'll be enough, but.
I think a little bit helps.
So that's all taking place. And so want to transition then, the other item is your bill insert that will go out to all of our customers at the end of this month. Some things I do want to highlight and just make sure the board is aware of this is that we will be implementing our next rate increase effective September 1st. And so this is a rate increase you adopted actually previous year, but it was a 2-year rate increase. So we're now implementing the second year of that. We're still trying to encourage people to make sure they're signing up for the online bill pay under our new system. So that means anybody who's even hadn't done it in the past, they need to re-sign up under the new system. And so still trying to get the word out on that as well. On the back, you'll notice a familiar face, and want to introduce Commissioner
That's a nice picture.
It is.
Cummings.
It's at the post office.
Yeah.
Front side view.
Want to make sure we're doing a proper introduction there, so appreciate the opportunity to highlight that. And then also, real important, the Fish on the Run irrigation done, we we're just talking about river flows and so on. And so annually, in working with the other Clackamas River water providers, we try to post this message, and so we wanted to kind of get that going a little bit early. Actually, I think we posted on our website today.
It's
And I think, I believe Sunrise may be starting
right, they did
early.
it, yeah.
And so, because there are some concerns about where we're at with respect to that. So one of the things is, we're encouraging folks, if they want lawn signs to put on their lawns, we will have those available. So if you're interested in having a lawn sign, this Fish on the Run irrigation done, has a logo and everything, please let us know, and we'll make sure that you get some. In addition to some of the other information that can be accessed through the Clackamas River Water Providers website. As far as the written report itself, you can read, so I'm not really going to highlight a lot of that, other than speaking of Clackamas River Water Providers, just there was a lot of activity going on, meetings, a lot of good things, obviously stuff that relates to the river, to kind of how we communicate and prepare as it relates to the cyanotoxin communications. And then one interesting thing is the aquifer storage and recovery feasibility study. So we did get a grant from the state in order to proceed with that. So we'll be doing that collectively as a group and looking at those opportunities. One thing I just wanted to note is the North Clackamas County Water Commission. We've been under our existing supply agreement, there's a requirement for us to do a planning document. So admittedly, we are behind on that. So I just want to make sure the board is aware that we are moving forward and having meetings with them to have that discussion of what that looks like. And then the annual opportunity to help clean up the river. So the down the river cleanup will be scheduled on September 7th. It's a Sunday. Riverside Park will once again be one of those staging areas. We'll have probably a dumpster down there, and people can be cleaning up around there, and then they'll have a lot of river access for people floating down, picking up trash.
What time will that start at Riverside Park?
Oh, boy.
9 AM, I
So
think
9
is
a.m.?
what I have.
9 AM?
Okay.
I signed up for that.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Perfect. So fun event. It's kind of fun to see what stuff they find in the river, but it's also been rewarding to see that they seem to have less stuff every year. So
Oh,
I'm
nice.
taking that as a good time. Then on the looking ahead, you have a number of different calendar items just to be aware of. One thing to put on your calendar, and if you're interested in attending, but more information will be coming out later, is that the Clackamas River Water Providers annual watershed tour. And so again, that's not till October, so I'll have more details. They'll probably get an invite direct from them. But we'd be happy to do whatever we can to encourage you to do that.
This is gonna be the upper or the lower, do we know?
You know, I don't know yet.
Oh,
That's
okay.
funny. I meant to ask the other day and I forgot to do that. So, but they also do the river one where you're on the river too.
Right, I mean, I think I've done them all, so I'm not sure.
So that's in this day and includes the report for tonight.
Okay, then we're moving on. What? Oh, sorry, Rusty.
Yeah, Todd, on the aquifer storage recovery, do we have any water provider in the basin that is actively putting water into an aquifer for storage?
So I believe Sunrise has some ASR wells that they exercise. We do have CRW does have a limited license to do aquifer storage and recovery.
Do we have sites identified?
We tried and we're piped to do it at our one well that we have. But
That doesn't.
Didn't work as well.
Doesn't sound like a good aquifer. Last question, do we have a good map or other understanding of the aquifers beneath the basin?
We do have a feasibility study, but this will help hopefully better identify kind of what.
So there are hydrogeologists and other types to look at it. Okay, thank you.
So I'm hoping to have a better answer to that question.
That's what it sounded like. Thank you.
Okay, all right, now we're going to, any public comment? I don't see any public people. Okay, and the commissioner reports and reimbursements. Has anybody attended the meeting? I think we got them all covered for a while.
Yeah, you know, the summer.
Yeah, I know, a lot of mine are canceled. Okay, then it's just the Sherry show. Okay, Sunrise elected their, officers, and they kept the same ones. Chris Hawes is president, Gary Barth is vice chair, and Kevin Bailey is the secretary. Carl Anderson is taking over as liaison to, Oak Lodge, and, I guess they're gonna appoint a new NCCWC position. Anyway, they have applied for a, Oregon Department of Energy Community Renewable Energy Grant Program, which would get them save them approximately about $16,000.
What was the renewable, what kind of renewable?
That's isn't that the turn off their low energy, like peak times?
So they have, well, a couple of.
Yeah,
So they have a solar program.
That's what I was
facility
looking at.
That I suspect that's most of that, and I
Okay.
think they do participate in that.
Huh.
yeah, they have the peak time
peak use.
thing. Let's see. Other than the other one that I gotta give him credit, Kevin Bailey has served actually 10 years on their board, which is outstanding. And then they talked about their company picnic in September. Oak Lodge. Let's see, they're talking about their quarterly capital projects report. And they're looking about 100, let's see, no, that's the wrong one, sorry. They're having a little problem with Clackamas County and permits. I know, we all laugh. Clackamas County is not noted for being expeditious, so to speak. One of the directors suggested that maybe they need to send somebody up to the county to, light fire into, but I have laughed, because good luck with that. But it's frustrating because they can't go forward because they're waiting for these permits, which is the last thing, and you're all ready to go. So that's kind of bad. They made a deal with, I got a line through here, MSA and convergence networks for their IT services. They had to do some more anticipated work on their Station 2. And then they're looking to amend their personal services agreement with Marina and Company from $75,000 to $150,000. And I gotta give them credit, there's looking out there. And one thing I think that one of their directors noted, and I'll follow that up, is again, and we hear this from us, from them, from Sunrise, from anybody. And it's educating the public. Educating the public. How do we get the word out there? How do we tell them, this is what we're doing? We're not playing around. We're not taking your money and going to Las Vegas for a weekend, to a conference. But this is how we get the word out and explain to them. I keep thinking about the Lucy show. We got a lot of explaining to do about water. People just don't get it. You turn on your faucet, there it is. And Metro is the same thing. I will say that they have a new commissioner for impact, and that is Diana Helm. She is going to be the Clackamas County rep. We had a nice conversation. for impact. And,
She's the new commissioner? county
she's also the
commissioner?
new Clackamas County
The one
Commissioner.
who's just been appointed,
Yes,
right, okay,
and she does plan to run for re-election, by the way.
well,
So, and basically it's the same thing. We always do the housing, transportation. Thank God we don't talk about tolling. Speaking of education, I got an email about it and I followed up with it this morning. It was about an hour and a half webinar, which we were not allowed to participate in. That was just information. And I have to say, the EPA put on an excellent presentation. They discussed the multitude of materials that they have available to all entities for public.
so where'd this webinar come from? I'm
I got an
confused.
email
Oh, I see, okay.
from EPA, this is.
Oh, I.
And,
I remember this.
it was, they listed all the stuff that you could get. And the topic was bridging gaps between utilities and schools. Because I've long said, and I've seen it when I worked in the school district, you want something kind of done or the information out there, you tell the kids. Because the parents kind of just, it goes over their head, check your faucets, or if your toilet drip, is leaking, check that, and they give them a little kit. Parents kind of tend to, kids will do it. Kids listen more to that. And it was put on by the EPA in Wichita State University. And they discussed their future water leaders program. They have Rural Community Assistance Corporation that helps them with that. They have a work in water. They provide classroom materials, internships, posters. They go out to schools and basically recruit. And they have some of the kids from like high school age that had gone into the internship program. And it was really interesting to hear them discuss how they absolutely, no way in God's green earth, they ever think about going to work in water. But after doing these internships and seeing what's available, yeah, you may start out here mowing the yard over at the plant, but there's room to grow. There's lots of possibilities to branch out. I have websites if anybody's interested. I'll be happy to send you that information, and within the week, all the information that was on this webinar will be available if you want to, print out stuff. But I thought it was interesting and maybe something for us to consider looking into and getting some of those resources, and getting out, into the schools. I mean, I probably fine, but I would be willing to do it. I have, to go in and just present the materials or present them to this faculty and say, if you're interested in this, this is what you can do.
Yeah, regional water providers the Regional Water Commission has programs that go to the schools.
Right.
So,
Well, not all schools have, but this, I was really impressed with some of the materials that they showed that you can get. And I think one of the big things that I had to look it up afterwards. But when they're talking, especially to high school students, maybe take an internship or whatever, the national average wage for someone who works for a water utility is between $27,000 and $59,000. No, that's not, like I said, a summer intern showing up for, 3 months, but it's how you can progress. And it shows up, I can work, I can do this, and then I can go in and do this, and, so I thought it was pretty interesting. So anyway, that's my one.
Great, thank you.
Anybody else? Going, okay, it is 7:15 and we're adjourned.